He wants the little things that comes from here. The little things that are done out of total surrender, total obedience to Him. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is NG, or for some people, Lady G. Welcome back again. I'm glad that you are here, that you clicked on this video, and I hope that it blesses you. So, today, I have come to tell you to give an inch to God. You know, there is this saying in English that if you give them an inch, they will take a mile. It is an expression that has a negative tone, a negative connotation. And it is typically used to say that when you bend your rules, or when you go beyond your boundaries for people, when you do things for people that you will not normally do, they will tend to take advantage of it and they will want to take more from you. But see, with God, if you give Him an inch, He's not going to take more from you. Instead, if you give God an inch, He will add more to your life. If you do things for God that are beyond your comfort zone, beyond what you normally do, and it doesn't have to be big things, small things, small acts of faith, small acts of obedience. If you give God an inch, He will take those small acts and He will do mighty things, great things in your life. The Bible talks about moving mountains with mustard seed faith. I don't know if you've seen pictures of a mustard seed, but it is very tiny. So if you give God a tiny bit of faith, if you act with a tiny bit of faith, God will use that tiny bit of faith and help you move mighty mountains in your life. The Bible talks about God wanting to reveal to us great and mighty things we do not know. But yet, maybe you read that and you think, for me to get to that level of revelation, I need to spend 5 hours in my Bible studying the Word. Yes, there are times maybe that God will want you to spend that much time with Him. But He does not always need that much time to speak to you, to reveal to you great things. If, let's say, you spend 0 time right now in your Word, if you go beyond your comfort zone, beyond what you normally do, and decide to spend even 10 minutes in the presence of God, God can take those 10 minutes and use those 10 minutes to show you wonderful things, great and mighty things. He just wants small acts of obedience, small acts of wholehearted, honest, true faith. He wants you to do small things that comes from the bottom of your heart. He wants you to just show up, even if a little bit, to just obey, even if a little bit. He doesn't need much from you to do great things in your life. He wants the little things that comes from here, the little things that are done out of total surrender, total obedience to Him. He wants your heart. He wants your love. So if you give God an inch, if you do small things that show that you love Him, that show that you are totally surrendered to Him. And He doesn't expect you to be perfect. He doesn't expect you to act from a place of unshakable faith. You don't need to be there in your walk with God for Him to do great things. Like I said, what He wants is for you to act small acts out of true, honest trust in Him, true, honest desire to see Him do great things in your life. So, give God an inch. Please, I'm pleading with you. Give God something to work with. He wants to do great things in our lives, but He wants us to give Him something to work with. He wants us to take the first steps, and He's willing to meet us halfway. But start walking towards Him. Start going beyond your comfort zone. Start doing those things that feel difficult. As I said, He doesn't want you to be perfect and to have this wondrous amount of faith. He wants you to trust Him even a little bit. To trust Him enough, tiny bit, to do those things He's asking you to do, even though they are outside of your comfort zone. So if you give Him those 5 minutes of time in prayer, those 5 minutes of time in the Word, if you do that small act that you hear the Holy Spirit telling you to do, but it feels like it's too difficult for you, it feels like it's out of character for you, that tiny act of obedience, that small act of obedience can open mighty doors for you. He wants to do great and mighty things in our lives. He just wants an inch. He just wants mustard seed faith. And He will help you move mountains. He will help you overcome things that you thought would take you many years to overcome. If you give God an inch, He will add. He's not like man. He will not subtract. He will not take more of you. And you know what? Something just dropped in my spirit. Sometimes, even if God takes away from you after that small act of faith, it's not unlike men, it's not because He's trying to hurt you, He's trying to take advantage of you. If He takes something away from you, it's an act of love. It may not feel like it, but even God's subtraction from our lives are act of love, because He knows the beginning from the end. What He takes away from us, we may not see it now, but those are things that may have hurt her, that could have hurt us in the future. So, generally speaking, if you give an inch to God, He will add to your life. It will not take away, unlike man. But even if He takes away, remember, His plans for you are plans of good. So if He takes away, it's for your good. Unlike man, when He take away, it's never for our good. So, give God an inch. Alright? Do that thing that you felt prompted to do, but you've just resisted. Do that act of faith that you feel that you know in your heart, that you have felt in your heart, in your spirit, in your mind that you should do. Spend those, like I said, if you spend 5 minutes before, spend 10 and watch God reveal Himself to you. Watch God speak to you more clearly than you could have hoped. All right? I hope this makes sense. I hope you are blessed. All right? Give God an inch. I pray that as you give God an inch, that He blesses you beyond your imagination. I pray that as you give God an inch, He reveals Himself to you in a bigger way, in a greater way. I pray that as you give God an inch, He draws you closer to Himself. That's my prayer for myself too. As I'm praying for you, I'm praying for myself. So, give God an inch. And I pray He blesses you. I love you. Take care. And until I see you next time, God bless you. Bye.